So I find myself basically like a beached whale laying up on the beach, just pulling myself up after, all of the trauma of that year. And, for quite a long time, I just kind of was unsure what to do next. I wasn't sure, what I was supposed to say or do. And so I found myself just kind of lost in this malaise, not really sure exactly what it was that my future was about, where I was going to go for work and that sort of thing. And I found myself getting kind of caught up in getting angry and even going through bitterness and upset at myself because of mistakes I had made. And I just got stuck for quite a while. A few years ago, I started seeing, things turn around, but it was very slow. Usually when you're going through some major struggle, I have a friend that went through a bankruptcy, and well, it was amazing how long it took him just to kind of get his feet back underneath him emotionally. I think a lot of people deal with, problems and things differently, and some jump back faster than others. Depends, I guess, on how deep the thing hurt or whatever. And so anyway, I found myself just kind of stuck, and I didn't like that. I didn't like being stuck. I'd like to, move on, and I'm sure most people do. So I don't know. I wasn't going to church or anything of that nature. I just kind of, doing my thing, and it took me a long time before I even was willing to go back to a church. I don't know. There was just something about going in there with all these happy people that just I couldn't do it. No offense to them, it's not their fault. I guess I just wasn't in the right frame of mind at the time. Still not sure I am. So I got a picture a couple months ago. That's probably half a year ago now, from a friend who went to a funeral. And this picture was painted during the memorial service of this friend being embraced by Jesus when he greeted him at heaven. It was a really cool painting. I mean, it was very well done, and you could see Jesus just grabbing this guy and giving him a big bear hug and just loving on him. It was great. I've got it on my screensaver. I find it to be very encouraging, especially after what the Lord used it for in my life. Well, one morning I was looking at that, and Kathy came in and she says, "What are you thinking?" And I said, if that was me being embraced, I just don't know that I would see Jesus as giving me this big warm welcome, this big, bear hug that the picture was portraying. And so, she found that kind of odd. Wasn't sure how to respond to me. She didn't say much, and a couple days later she mentioned that it had kind of bothered her that I had answered that way, and she asked me, she said, "Well, how do you see him meeting you when you go to heaven?" And I said, "I don't know, I kind of feel like the Lord would be standing there with his arms crossed sort of like this and just kind of saying, okay, we're going to have a little talk, and obviously not an endearing embrace." And that was, more news that probably surprised her. So I put the picture away. I didn't really think about it anymore for quite some time, and I was sitting in a church service, just listening to music. There was nothing particularly being said or done that related to this picture, and I'll never forget just getting what I would say was just a strong word from the Lord to me that and I hadn't been thinking about the picture in quite some time, and I just had this thought come to me. It says, "Lorne, I'm not the one with the crossed arms." And it came pretty fast. There were like three things that came out of it, and the second thing was that when have I ever crossed my arms with you? I've never crossed my arms with you. And the third thing was kind of a stiff rebuke in a very clear way, which says, and I don't appreciate you implying to others that I have my arms crossed with you. Whoa, I was literally, I just sat down. It was just like a machine gun, boom, 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 and all of a sudden it just hit me that, once I got out of this river, the proverbial river, the crash site or whatever, the things that I had been going through for quite some time, and got over the initial shock and got my feet back underneath me, I found myself kind of getting trapped in just all these emotions and feelings and stuff, and I was projecting them, I guess, on the Lord, blaming the people standing on the bridge and blaming myself and getting all into this. And, I really feel like that was a major step for me to be able to honestly look at that picture and say, that's right, I'm the one with the crossed arms. It's not the Lord. And it just really helped me to see that, because it was only then that I started to really understand that, it's not about looking backwards all the time. There's definitely things to learn from my past, and the good and the bad, the stuff that was great to know, and yet the Lord wanted to move on with the relationship, is I guess the best way to put it. And so I just encourage you, if you're kind of in that place where you're not interested in church, prayer doesn't work, worship songs bug you, it doesn't mean that the Lord is not there. It certainly doesn't mean that He doesn't love you. But I think part of it, with me anyways, was I had to just get really honest that it was me who was the one sitting there or standing there with my arms crossed and almost like daring God to get close to me. And it's once that I saw that, and I certainly don't have this mastered yet by any means. I'm far from it. But it was definitely a good starting point for me to begin moving forward again in a life that's healthy, one that's moving forward in spiritual terms and just in new direction. And so I just thought I'd drop that on you. You do what you want with it. I really like that picture of Him embracing us. And He doesn't embrace us because we're such incredible people. He embraces us because, He loves us, we're His children, and He wants the best for us. And so that's what I'm learning. And it's a good place to jump in and get reacquainted and building the relationship with the Lord, because that's really all that, that really matters ultimately.